or give you a little more instruction on what to do when things change and there's loss. There is often an instantaneous rush to fill the void. And my message to you during this time, and particularly during the next 3 months of this summer, is really don't do that. Don't rush in to fill the void. So, as I talked about last week, we are in a really big transition. Lots of things are changing, lots of things are ending. There's still a lot of unknown. Everybody's feeling this. Everyone I talk to feels this. There is maybe a low level of anxiety, or a high level of anxiety. There's definitely fear. There's definitely exhaustion too. That we've just dealt with a lot and there's still more coming. So maybe your bandwidth is a little low. And so what we tend to do in those situations where we're not really fully supported and supplied is just to go back to what we've done before. It's a really natural inclination, happens all the time when we're in kind of fearful situations or when we have loss, that we just want to go back to that safety place and something that we know. And typically in Western culture, one of the things that we do is just rush in to fill that space with something. And I'm going to encourage you just not to do that now. So, that may look like if you lose a job, that you get a job right away. It may look like you just get any job right away, or that you need to start doing something when things end, that you have to do something else, create something more, be busy, be productive. It can look like when you graduate a program, either, typically in our culture, high school, college, a graduate program, any kind of education program, that you have to have your next step ready, whatever that job is, whatever that activity is. The next thing needs to already be in place. This is very routine in our culture. And even when people pass, right? Like if you end a relationship or you have someone in your life that passes, um, there is a tendency to kind of want to just fill that void in with whatever busyness there is. Maybe it's another person, maybe it's another relationship, um, maybe it's another activity, but we rush in to fill that space. And this period is a period of great creation and great transition. And so when we're in that place of great creation, we have to allow a little more space for something to be created, right? So if we just rush in to fill the void with something that we know, that we've learned, that's worked for us in the past, then essentially we are recreating an experience of the past. And, honestly, for many people historically, that might have worked. And that might eke along for a little bit longer, but we're entering a place where those old things, the things that we knew, the things that always worked, the systems that were always there that we plugged into, those are shifting, they're changing, they're not working. So we really need to be more open to really create that thing that's coming next, or at least be open to allow that in and allow those opportunities in. Um, because we want something more. We want a life that is more aligned, that's more vibrant, that's more inclusive for everybody, that is more joyful for everybody, that's more prosperous for everybody, because that is the way we're designed to live. That's how nature operates. That's how our living system operates, is that we all thrive, right? And that's what we're moving towards. But the new systems just aren't all in place yet. And you are part of creating those new systems. So allowing space to allow new ideas, new actions, new relationships, new institutions, new patterns, new habits to come in is important and really vital to allow us to more speedily and harmonically automatically and easily move into this new paradigm, right? And so what does that mean for you? And again, I'm going to tell you that we are going to be in this void of unknown. And that void of unknown is uncomfortable for most of us because we like to know. We like to have things planned. We like to see the outcome. We like to be, like X or A to B to C gets us to Z eventually, right? Um, and that's just not the time that we're in. That's just not the place that we're in. So that, kind of take a deep breath and just recognize that there's a lot of change and a lot of unknown and things are going to be different. And so that you need to be open to what that different is. And that doesn't mean it's bad. In fact, my guess is if you can operate in this way of connection and of receptivity, then it's going to be better. It's going to be awesome. And so it's worthwhile to sit in that unknown. And so what's my recommendation? So my recommendation is to be patient. It is a very hard thing for me when I see the end or I know things are coming to really be patient and wait for longer than you think you need to or want to or is possible, to allow the creator, to allow the universe to bring forward that which you desire, right? That you want to see come forward, that experience that you want to have. And so you got to be patient and wait in that uncomfortable, unknowing place. And in that place, we're going to be here for a while, so there are some things you can do. Definitely, number one is breathe. Let those emotions come up. Let that fear come up. Let the insecurity come up. Let the anxiety come up. Breathe through it. Process it through. And let that energy move and clear, because you want to stay in that connected, positive, visionary, open, receptive place. And you can't do that if you're just suppressing and repressing fear and anxiety. So you got to face that stuff. You got to let it move through. And so do your inner work, right? So you got to clear that negativity out, clear the fear out, clear that anxiety out, clear what you're connected to in the collective consciousness out, because lots of that is very frenetic and fear-based. So journal, do breath work, meditate, move, make sound, whatever the tools are that you have that allow you to process through that excess emotion and that overwhelm, do it. And during this time period, I'm really telling my clients that during these 3 months, that's non-negotiable, right? Those self-care practices, that inner work practices that you do, non-negotiable. So you need to keep those up in order to keep your energy connected and aligned and positive, to move through this transition more easeful and really in a way that makes you thrive, right? And so stay connected and in your own power and in your own energy. Really get aware of what pulls you out of your own energy, what takes your power away when you feel like a victim, when you feel powerless, and notice what triggers those things and start to switch your thought patterns, your behaviors, your actions, so that that switches. Because the truth is, you are not a victim and you are not powerless. You are amazing and you are really able to create far more than you could ever imagine. So the idea that you're a victim, the idea that you don't have power, that is just untrue. So that's a belief structure that you should take a look at and shift. And so that means that you really need to commit to yourself, commit to the things in your life, commit to the people in your life, the activities, the places that bring you joy in every cell of your body. Like, this is a time to really step into those things that you're passionate about, have fun, enjoy, and let the other stuff go, because the joy is still here, the beauty is still here, the brilliance is still here, even with all the chaos, all the unknown, all the tragedy, all the injustice. The beauty, the joy, the creation, the freedom, it is all still here too. So focus your energy, focus your paradigm around that. Okay? And when you're called to interact in the other ways, you act, right? But allow your consciousness, allow your energy, allow your connection to stay pivoted and turned and really embodied in that positivity and in that joy, right? Go have some fun. And make sure you do it on a regular basis. Um, and then really be receptive. So in creation, when you're co-creating with the universe, right? When you have to let in something that's bigger than you, which is the time we're in, right? Like your little self, like your little mind, your smallest aspect of you cannot fathom the level of change that is going on right now, right? And all of the book knowledge that you have accumulated has not prepared you for the change that we are in, right? So you have to open up to something that's bigger than yourself. You have to open up to where that creativity, where that innovation, where that change, where that vibrancy is going to come from. And my guess is it's not going to come from where it used to, right? So you have to become receptive. You have to really open up to something else, something more, something new. And so, that can be really hard when there's a lot of fear and a lot of chaos. And so it's a practice to receive. And how much can you receive? How much can you relax? How much can you surrender? Right? This is the practice, and honestly, for most Americans, it is way, way, way harder to surrender, to relax, to receive, to allow, and that is way harder than powering through and just kind of like knocking the to-do list off, right? So I invite that in as part of this transformative summer experience, right? Is how can you surrender? And a great way to measure it, of course, I'm going to come back to the breath, but the breath is one of our most brilliant teachers in how to surrender, because in breathing, the surrender is on the exhale. When you think about your respiratory system and your diaphragm, the effort, the muscular effort in breathing is actually on the inhalation. Your diaphragm has to be pulled down in order for air to come in. That is effort on the inhale, right? Relaxation and surrender, you let that diaphragm go, it floats back up. Surrender on that exhale. The more you can surrender on that exhale, the less holding, the less control you have on that exhale, the easier and easier it becomes to surrender in life. And it's in that surrendering that you learn to more fully receive, right? You have to let go in order to receive the new in. So that exhale, how can you just relax more, surrender more? So hopefully that helps you during this time, gives you a few tools, gives you a little guidance, so that you can just create space for that co-creation process to happen, right? And that's really what we're doing, is that in this time of change, in this time where there is so much fear, so much unknown, so much chaos, how can we create more space, right? How can we allow the universe, the beauty, the joy in? how can we allow that transformation to happen without struggle, without holding? And how can we allow more space in our experience? And and just that should let you breathe a little bit easier and let you calm down a little bit easier. That like there's nothing that's got to get done tomorrow. There's nothing that is going to be concrete tomorrow. There's nothing that you're going to know tomorrow that's going to vastly change the situation. So relax, take a breath, enjoy. Okay, so let me know how it goes. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to find out more information about me or my offerings, please check out my website, danashamas.com. And don't forget to sign up for the newsletter. I send them out weekly with tips, insights, rituals, meditations, personal updates, special events, and offerings. So I know you don't want to miss out. Thanks again for watching, and I look forward to connecting soon.